Healing your relationships meditation. And this process can be applied to any kind of relationships, whether romantic relationships, whether relationships with your parents, children, even if the person is no longer alive. It wouldn't matter, because in this process you connect to that soul aspect, and we establish that soul to soul conversation. So whenever you have certain issues that you may not be able to communicate directly to the person for different reasons, this is a very powerful process to experience before any interaction with that person that you want to heal the relationships with. So when you're ready, just close your eyes and take a deep breath, and just notice how your chest raises, goes down as you breathe. Thank your breathing for helping you relax. Thank your consciousness for noticing any physical sensations, any sound, taste or smell, or visuals coming up. And just notice how you get grounded. Visualize a beam of white light flowing through your crown chakra, your third eye, your throat chakra, your heart, your solar plexus, the sacral chakra, your root chakra, all the way down to the feet. And notice how through the feet you get fully grounded and connected to earth. You may notice some kind of root structure forming, getting you fully grounded and connected to earth, and as well to the universe through that pathway of white light. So this way you are connected to this physical experience, and as well you're open for any spiritual experience. And if the person that you choose to have this process with it has some negative connection to you, I would invite you to visualize a protective bubble around you, a bubble of white light that keeps you safe under any circumstances. And you're completely safe and protected, as well connected to the universe and the earth. And now just notice what happens as I invite your being to bring to your awareness the visual representation of the person you want to have this conversation. So just notice or imagine that person in front of you, standing in a comfortable distance, whatever feels right for you. It might be far away, it might be close. Just notice the distance between the person and you. Notice if the view you see is colorful or black and white. And thank that aspect, whichever it is. And if it was black and white, after thanking, it might get some colors, become more vivid. Notice if the image is moving or still. And if it was still, just thank it for being still. And possibly you will notice some movement there. But just observe that person with no judgment. Notice their position, the posture. You may notice some emotions. You may notice how they feel in the moment. Just become aware and be more observant. That's right. That's right. Now notice what happens as we ask that person if he or she would like to connect to the universe and the earth just the way you did. And it's their choice. If they are not willing, that's okay. But if they agree, just notice how the beam of white light flows through their crown chakra, going across all the chakras, all the way down to the feet, and through the feet they get grounded in the earth. So they too are fully connected with their physicality and their spirituality aspects. And if they need a protective bubble, you can just visualize that as well. And then notice what happens as I invite your being to make whatever arrangements necessary for some kind of cord to show up, connecting the two of you. Notice how some cord going from any part of your body connects to any part of his or her body. And just notice how the cord looks like. What is the color, the texture? Just notice to very detail how it looks like. And sometimes when the relationship is tough, you may experience the cord in the darker colors or more stronger or heavier connection in some way. You will feel that for yourself. But whichever way it is, just notice that cord. And there is also a possibility of several cords being connected, and that's completely fine. Just notice how those cords are connecting, and the purpose of the cord is simply to deliver the communication between the two of you and the lessons that might be learned through this process. It's just for this interaction. And so through that cord, you can access that soul-to-soul connection. And in the moment, you may ask the person if you have a specific question that you need to know the answer. Or maybe you just need to express yourself and say to them how you feel about things. So this is your chance to have that conversation, and just visualize as you are talking to the person. And take a moment to speak up for you from your heart, whatever that is necessary to be communicated out. That's right. That's right. as you are expressing yourself, notice how the person reacts, whether he or she is communicating, answering your questions, or expressing themselves. Maybe they are not ready yet. That is also fine. Whatever the situation is, you can thank them and notice how some things changes. That's right. And when you notice how the person responds to you, whatever you wanted to know or whatever you wanted to receive from them, and if you have discussed that fully, just thank that person for giving you life experiences in the past, for teaching you lessons. Sometimes difficult lessons are even more valuable. And all of that is part of our journey of evolution and improvement. So just thank that person for giving you life experiences and notice how those lessons are being transferred to you through the cord. And most likely there will be lessons for that person through you as well. So notice how they learn the lessons and receive that knowledge through the cord as well. The purpose of the cord is really to transfer that knowledge and information and lessons between you. That's right. And if there are some lessons that we're not yet learned, it's possible that there is still some connection to the person. But just notice if it feels complete and you have said all you wanted to say to that person, and you received or heard what you needed to hear from them. I will invite you to thank the cord for delivering that information, for transferring those lessons. And then thank the cord and notice what happens. Notice if the cord changes in some way. Because when the resolution happens and when the lessons are transferred, the expression of the cord might change. And if those particular lessons were learned fully, then the cord no longer needs to exist. So just thank the cord and notice what happens. That's right. That's right. Most likely it will fade away or disappear somehow. And that not always means that you don't have the connection with the person anymore. means that those particular lessons have been learned and that connection is no longer there. There might be other chords, and if it was a relationship that you wanted to improve, you may notice how a different kind of chord is being formed, creating the positive connection, creating that better communication between the two of you. And if it is the person that you no longer wish to have any relationship with, notice if there are any other chords connecting you and them. And just repeat the process of noticing and thanking, inviting those lessons through the chord to be integrated. And as you thank the chord, notice how it fades away or disappears. The noticing and thanking process is more impactful. It allows the lessons to integrate. Therefore, we don't cut the cords. Cutting the cords will not allow the lessons to be transferred. But when you thank it, you notice how it dissolves and no longer exists. So when the process feels complete, you can thank the person for participating in this exchange of knowledge, words, information. Notice how they feel, how they look like, if anything changed in their expression. Very often, when some relationship aspect is being healed and resolved, the person will look different, more happy, more satisfied. So just notice that. And when you're ready, only when you are fully ready, you can allow your eyes to open and feel fully relaxed, refreshed, and calm. Take as long as you need. Take as long as you need.